What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If I sound and look exhausted, I kind of am. I'm recovering. We traveled a lot last month, or this month, but it's been all good stuff. The ABC crew has done stuff with Made Hoops this month, and then we had two events with Made Hoops, and then an event with TNC. I'm here to talk about statements, and kind of go over some of the matchups, how I think the event went, and just my overall thoughts on it. So overall, I thought the concept of the event was cool. Like doing something with Hosley was always good. Oh, going to Baltimore for a one-on-one event is always a good idea. There's always energy. There's a culture there for one-on-one basketball in particular. So, yeah, I loved it. I want to go over some of the matchups. Overall, I thought the matchups. Listen, TNC swept. It's it's tough to make those matchups when you're going to another city, because there wasn't a whole lot of crossover references in terms of like a guy like Nico. Like Nico plays in China and he's a really respected player, but he hasn't played heavily on the one-on-one scene outside of Free Smoke, so it's hard to gauge whether he's going to be a good opponent or not. Nico's the one that played Day Day, and it did get ugly. So it's just tough in that sense. I think the matchups could be a little bit better overall, though, for sure. But to open the night, let's just get into the matchups. We had Wick versus Rajan. I was not aware of Wick. I've seen Rajan play on Ball His Life and whatnot. I thought it was a pretty good game. It definitely drug on, I would say, at one point. The shooting percentages had to have been pretty low. And I thought Wick was just physically superior than Rajan. And I thought Rajan, one thing I took away from his game was I think he should have shot the triple threat three more. Every time he put it on the floor, he put himself in tough positions, and did a good job defending it. And I think that Rajan shoots a triple threat three. Like that's the strong suit of his offensive game, is shooting that jab three. And I do remember in the broadcast thinking, why isn't he shooting more? So I think Rajan should have lived with the result from the jab three more. I think he would have got better quality shots, and I think he would have made more shots. Like I remember him putting it on the floor and doing a really good job at just like altering his shot, or I think he blocked a few shots. So I think Rajan should have shot that jab three more. I thought was a strong opponent. I think he's got a well-rounded game. He guards well. He's physical. Both guys were in shape. But I think has a little future in this one-on-one stuff. I think if obviously Rajan's already stamped, but I think if keeps like ironing out his game, he's got heart. He can guard, and he's solid offensively. I think there's some room for improvement offensively, but he's got the foundation to be a good one-on-one player. So keep going, and we will see him again. I'm sure of it. By the way, ended up winning that matchup late, but he kind of controlled the whole game. Then we had the 3-on-3. The 3-on-3 was I don't want to say I did not expect that big of a margin. I thought Bruce and Zeke were going to play better. I wasn't aware of who Tev was. I don't think he really got this show's game. I think Tev might have had the best game of the three. So shout out to Tev for that. I know he knocked down some middies and he did look good. We didn't get to see a whole lot from them though. They weren't synchronized at all. They were not synchronized at all, whereas the TNC crew was. Malik, MVP of that game. I should say X Factor. Rob, I remember Rob knocking down some big threes to just like extend the lead middle to late game, as he always does. And then Tay did his thing as well. Like he did what he always does. He fills in the holes, scores a few buckets, gets a few offensive rebounds, 50-50 balls. And that was the thing. TNC's crew got more 50-50 balls. They got boards. They were more synchronized offensively and defensively. And there's not too much to add to this game. They were just simply the better team. And I think if they played a few more times, like you'd have the same result until that other team, the Free Smoke team, really like bites down and learns what they had going on, because it really was not close. Next up, we had Day Day and Nico. Already kind of touched on this. Day Day looks great. First of all, let's start on Day Day's side. He is getting better every 2 months, every month or two. He's always working. He looks more confident, more and more confident. He's put on a little bit of weight as well. Definitely within the past year and a half, 2 years, he's put on some weight. So that's been good. He's shooting the ball well. He's confident. He's moving better than ever. So, A+ performance by Day Day. And then Nico, to me, during the broadcast, I was just like, why is he not using his size to his advantage? Like, he was playing like a clean pro, like getting to his spots, and shooting, and I'm like, one-on-one basketball is that at times, and at other times it asks you to be a physical specimen and less skill, more brute force. And especially with him, he had a 4 to 5 inch size advantage in that game and about 50 pounds. Like Nico, I don't know if people could see through the video, but Nico was significantly bigger than Day Day. And I was like, what is he doing? Like, sometimes I kind of feel that way. No shade, but I kind of feel that way about Malik Dunbar. Dunbar I think he should get to 2 feet in the paint way more often. He's the biggest individual on the TNC roster and the strongest. And so I kind of feel similar about him. But yeah, Nico, man, that was a tough game. I don't have much else to say about that one. I think it was 30-5. Next up, we had Cam versus Pert. I'd heard Pert's name circulating, but I wasn't aware of exactly who he was. After seeing his game, I just don't think he was ready for a Cam matchup. I see things in his game, in his offensive game, that I do like. I know people are super harsh online, and I get it because it was a butt whooping. But there's something there with Pert. I think, one, he needs to get much better defensively. He needs to get stronger. I don't want to say he needs to put on weight, because sometimes people will just put on weight and not get stronger. I think the point of that is to get stronger. So hit the weight. If Pert hits the weight room, and continues to play, like, he will be fine, because I do like some of the things I saw offensively. He ended up getting in his head bad during the game, and he just couldn't recover. At one point, Cam was just completely rondoing him and allowing him to shoot jab threes wide open, and he was just, once you get there as a basketball player, it's really hard to hit a shot. Like, you look like you've never played before in terms of like your shooting. He just could not make a shot. So that got ugly as well. I think the final was 30 to single digits as well. But Cam looked good, man. Cam did what he had to do. He looked good, as always. Next up, we had definitely the game of the night. And I alluded to this one in the broadcast a few times because I just knew what Greg was going to bring. Obviously, we know what Kell is going to bring. But when I saw the card, this was by far the game I was looking forward to the most. It wasn't even close for me. The second closest was the main event, Terry versus Boog. But I had seen Greg and Free Smoke in person a few years ago, and I've just been aware of him. He's a really underground, quote unquote, underground one-on-one player, but he's got a lot of ability. He's first of all, he's about 6'2", but he plays bigger than 6'2", so I knew that alone was going to be something for Kell to deal with. He's physical. He knows how to play those games. I remember Greg playing Scoob in a one-on-one game in like 2020, and it was a straight wrestling match. So I understand. I knew he could go there if the game asked that of him. But I also kind of like what I've seen from Greg skill-wise, and we saw it that night. He hit some tough shots. He got to his midi early. He went up 12-0, and then Kell answered with a 12-0 run. And you could kind of see with Kell that although it was 12-0, I could see that there was something there. Like Greg wasn't stepping up all the way on the jab 3. And when you do that, that's not the way to guard Kell, because he gets into his jab 3 shimmy, jab 3 shimmy, and if you try to time it, he will blow by and go finish over you. Once I saw Greg playing back like that, I just knew Kell was going to shoot and or jab, pump fake him, and go to the basket. And that was the story. So Kell answered with a 12-0 run. And I believe, I can't remember who took us to halftime, but I know Greg went on a run, to start the second half. And I really thought at that point Greg was going to run away, because he went up 8 in the second half. And Kell was still getting great looks offensively, but I kind of was just like, man, Greg looks good right now. Like, it was nothing Kell was doing, because honestly, Greg was hitting the shots were so contested. I was just like, this can't go to 30. Like, I know he went on a run in the first half. I was like, that was impressive. He looks good. I don't want to take anything away from him. But can he do this to 30? Because he's hitting heavily contested twos. And he came out in the second half and did a similar job. He was hitting tough shots. So, yeah, I think. And then Kell answered again. And it just shows, like, I just want to make sure I say, Kell has the heart of a freaking lion. And it's not only does he have the heart of a lion, but it's like, it's controlled aggression and controlled heart, and it's like he's thinking so well through the grit and determination you see. And sometimes we see guys just want it really bad, and sometimes that's just not enough. Like, you can't just want it. You have to be still in a flow state, and I think Kell stays there for the most part. The only time I've really seen him break that was him against Day in Vegas, which he was just – I feel like that was – the most different that I've seen him look. Ever since then, every performance has been arguably an A. So shout out to Kell, man, but also shout out to Greg. These two really made the night. If this game didn't happen, the night wouldn't have been a complete mission. Oh, man, I skipped over Moon and Inu. This was my second. I don't want to say Kell and Greg was like by far game of the night, because this Moon and Inu game was good as well. And I knew what Inu was going to bring to the table as well. And one thing about Moon and Kell is they go searching for smoke. And I think that's so needed in the one-on-one space, where a lot of people are politicking and like, you know, being very strategic. And I think that listen, I'm not going to sit here and say you being strategic and you doing what you think is best for you, that's just inherently just a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just not something that I'm a fan of, quite frankly. I think people that watch this space, they want mindsets like Moon and Kell. I'm not saying that there hasn't been positive situations of people that have been super strategic and like thinking of their every move. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I love the warrior mindset of Moon and Kell. The fact that they'll just play like these were risky games for Moon and Kell. I knew it. I said it in the broadcast. I was like, these are not tough games, and I even said I highlighted these two games, and I said these are tougher games than some people realize. Some people do. But I said Greg's social presence isn't as big. More people are aware of Inu than Greg, but both of these are dangerous games because they're not that well known. And if you lose to a guy that's not a top 5 guy, if you're Moon or Kell at this point in their career, like you're doing some harm, because we know how harsh everyone critiques losses now. Like if you it's incredible if you lose to like a I don't know, if you lose to an Inu, if Moon loses to an Inu, man, he's out of the top 5 for the foreseeable future. Like, for some people, not for me, not for some people, but there's definitely a loud group of people that would be like, nah, he's not. This is why he's not top 5 or whatever the case is. So, yeah, just a dangerous game. And then for Kell as well, man. Like a lot of people didn't know Greg. Some people did, but a lot of people didn't, and that was just a tough game. So I just shout out to Moon and Kell for taking those. But the Moon and Inu game was great. Inu, I knew what we were getting from him. I think he strayed away from his winning path. I think the way that he could have won was shooting more jab threes, getting to more one dribble pull-ups, and just simply exerting less energy per possession. I do think that there's a pace that you need to play with. And when I say pace, I mean conserving your energy to get through the game fully. Not saying that Inu looked out of shape, because I can't recall any point in the game that he looked gassed. But I think that when you try to score, when you try to get tough buckets for 30 points, it normally doesn't happen. I can't recall a time where somebody debuted and really did that as an opponent. There was Ryan in San Francisco. The way he was playing I think he played against Moon in his debut as well, and it was just like, man, he played so well, but if he would have shot a few more easier ones, he could have won this potentially. I feel similar about Inu. Like Inu has potential, man. I knew that. Just following his IG and TikTok clips for the past 2 years or whatever. But I think the progression in his game, the next step is to simplify it. And Moon is kind of the future. Moon is further down his path where remember there was a narrative 2 years ago, and it was true. Moon was just over dribbling, taking tougher shots than he needed, and he's really like chipped away at his shot selection. And the past year he's been phenomenal, and he hasn't wavered at all with his shot selection. Like he just gets it now. He never does more than expected. But that's the progression for Inu's game. He's got to simplify it. He's got to. I mean, it's fun to watch. It's great to watch. But if you want to be a winner consistently, and I'm not just saying win one game, because you can win one shooting tough shots, but can you win a few in a month? Can you win 3 in a row, 4 in a row, banking on those tough shots? So I think that he's a phenomenal talent, and he has great ability, and I love watching it. Next step for him is to simplify it. Then we had Terry Hosley versus Boog, the small guard matchup. This was a great game too. I mean, Terry really, to me, he surprised me with how many jab threes he shot. At some point I was kind of questioning, like, it just felt really intentional. He was just shooting a lot of jab threes, and just when Boog was in his pocket too. So, but Boog, did what he always does. He had a slow start, but then when he gets going and his energy gets going, shots start falling for Boog. And it just, even though it was a close game, if I'm being honest, I always felt like Boog was going to win. But I don't want to take anything away from Terry, because he played great and he easily could have won. He had 2 free throws at the end. He was at 27. If he would have made one of the free throws to get to 28, he probably does win that game. But he missed the free throws, which we've seen time and time again. When you miss free throws at that, when you're within 3-2 points, they never win. There's got to be a stat line. Like, it's been bad. We've seen it with Lat. We've seen it with others. We saw it with Terry that night. But, another game that Terry could have won that he didn't. Like, I feel like he plays everyone so close, and he just hasn't been able to close it out. But I'm telling you, everybody he plays, it's a close game with the exception of Rajan. So shout out to those two. Shout out to Terry for putting that event on, and kind of sharing that Baltimore culture with us, because I've already seen it. I've seen it years ago. I've always been in tune with Free Smoke and have already even been there. So definitely a good card. I think, it was a 6-0 sweep, I believe, 6-0, 7-0, 6-0. Yeah, some of the matchups could have been better for sure, and I think that there's just it was hard to gauge like how certain players were going to perform because we just didn't have cross reference points. Like Pert hadn't played a Boog, and we couldn't really see, you know. And honestly, I think like the point of the card was for Terry to have Baltimore guys. You know what I mean? Um, so it was kind of like they brought in Inu for the matchup, which was great. And then but I think that was it. Did they bring in anybody else? Oh yeah, and then the Wick and Rajan game. But yeah, I think the point was for like free smoke players to play. So I get that. I hope we do more stuff like that. I do like those collabs, and I like the just going to places like that. I enjoy that because I feel like it just has the most energy. It feels the most authentic, and it just gets the most real. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Let me know what you guys think about what you thought about the card. Did you enjoy the watch? Did it drag on at any points? Would you like to see any other matchups? Keep in mind that they probably should be from Baltimore. But yeah, let us know how we can do better. Even on the broadcast side, let us know, did you enjoy the commentary? Where can we get better? Just give me feedback in every which way. But appreciate you guys. I will see y'all next video. Peace.